Welcome back, everybody, or should I say, like, my mind is blown of what just happened. I'm freaking eating bananas over here. That's how crazy shit. No. Do you see this? There's a lot of bananas here, and then look at the Costco cookies. Bought these today. This stuff is almost empty. You know how Johnny Hopper rolls. Wow. Oh my effing God. Let's dive in. Dive in right away to what Jed was doing. Yes, amazing baby gift. Awesome baby gift. Can't say enough about Ken for freaking being able to be on his ass the entire time. Well, Jed was doing his thing. It was a moto track. I liked the track. It sucked for the super minis. They killed themselves a couple times. Hopefully Richards and Way are okay. Looks like Richards might have broken his collarbone, but I digress. A beautiful motocross track. The fastest motocross track we've had. And by no surprise, Jed is owning everybody. I was wrong. I said Tom y.all was going to win and Sexton was going to win. I couldn't have been farthest from the truth. I didn't think Kenny was going to be fastest qualifier for one, and I didn't think he was going to be on Jed's ass the entire time for Moto 2. But Jed was methodically thinking about strategy. You've got a 19-year-old kid that is thinking about strategy. And this is where I go, was it as much of a gift to Ken for his baby boy? Congratulations. That is a feat. You know, it changes you. Having a kid definitely changes it. Even the second one, right? So congratulations, Ken. But was it more of an FU to his leaving teammate Sexton to gain more points? And why do I say that? Because let's look at the screen. This isn't normal moto format where each moto you get 25 points per moto and then it's a cumulative 50. So you could literally have guys go 1, 2, and then second moto breaks the tie for the overall, but you both end up with 50 points. Is that how it works? Because you had Shimoto and Deegan. I don't think so. I don't believe so, because here, according to the rule book on page 44, it is literally just 50 points for first place for the overall. And second place is 44 and third is 40. So really, his move to let Ken by gained him 4 extra points on Sexton. To me, that is a strategic FU to Sexton. And it's a double win because you've got Kenny winning again for Suzuki. The PR that Suzuki is going to be able to generate because of something like that is massive. Absolutely freaking massive. Because if we look at the championship points now, I got to move this over here a little bit. You've got Chase Sexton with 90, Jed Lawrence with 88. He's 2 points away. 2 points where he was supposed to be more like 6. Strategic mastermind. Man, I want to... Who's the guy from... God, they have the little minions? Who is that guy that is the bad guy, but he's actually the good guy? I don't remember who I am, but that's what Jed did in this entire strategic breakdown. My mind is just blown, right? The overall didn't change with the past, just 3-2 still beats a 2-3. Oh, Dr. Dre still saying, wait. So Kenny was 4-1. No, 4-1. Was he 4-1? Jesus, man. This is what these live shows are. Again. Oh, appreciate the subscription. And Moto 1. Kenny was third. Sexton was second. And then it was a 1-3. So Ken was 3-1, which is 4. Okay, I'm talking to Dr. Dre here. And then now you've got Moto 2 where it was Ken, then Sexton third. That is 4. Second moto breaks the tie. Kenny gets second overall as opposed to third overall. So I might look like an idiot here, but I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say Kenny got second overall because of the gift from Jed. And wonderful baby gift that is. Dude, again, Jed out front. Maybe that's why Kenny was staying so close to him, is because he was just doing his typical thing. I'm just going to keep close enough. I'm not going to ruin anything and whatnot. But then he gets it and lets it go. So, but I do appreciate the chat room, you guys. You guys are freaking effing awesome. You guys have my back because it's a one-man show in this office here. A little bit more about the track. Track was fast. There was really no separation, but it was a much more raceable track. Much more raceable track. They talked a little bit about, hey, we're going to have Supercross suspension. At least Sexton, they alluded that he had Supercross suspension that was softer and the Jed had moto. Why would you even think of Supercross suspension unless maybe you were the 85s, where I do believe having Supercross suspension would have saved little Way's butt from some of those giant doubles, because those jumps are just too big for 85s. Just too big for 85s to be able to case that stuff. And really, with how fast that stuff is, you want to have the motorcycle as stiff as possible, just for stability. That bike needs to be stiff, and usually when it's super fast, you're going to have the bike be slow. It's going to be stiff and slow, but with the big bumps and ruts, because those ruts, you saw riders going all over the place to try to get out of those suckers, because the track ended up getting really hard and slippery down the straights because they were freaking WFO, but in the corner they were very deep, and then those ruts became more like concrete holes that had choppy stuff in them. So if you're stiff there, it's going to suck. You're not going to be able to use your phalanges. I think that's what these are called, medical term, right? I'm living with a doctor, so I try to pick up on some of the stuff. No, I'm just an idiot. But with the moto stuff, you want it really to be as soft as possible to get over the bumps, and you want it to be as fast as possible because of that stuff. So there's like a conflicting here where you're like, hey, I need it to be stiff for stability, but man, I need it to be kind of soft as well to get over that kind of stuff. And that's kind of a pretty good little segue here, because I want to make sure everybody knows that Precision Transport Inc. These guys are sponsoring the live show. They are a freight company. So if you're moving anything big, make sure you call these guys. They will do it nationwide. Their number is 877-827-0618. They do a fantastic job. They lift heavy stuff, whether you're moving or you're lifting heavy equipment or just a pile of junk motorcycles that you're trying to, I don't know what you're doing, but if you need that, Precision Transport. They help out. They own their own jiu-jitsu building as well, which is pretty cool. But, that is where I'm going with. Talking a little bit about the 250s, okay? Because 250s. Deegan, he qualified 11th. 11th. And he almost won that first moto. You guys, you should probably go check out the press conference that I am trying to get into at some point, but it has just started as well. So make sure you go check over there and see what they're going about, because that's exactly where I'm headed after the live show is over with. But I'm super impressed with Deegan. Okay, you've got a three-way battle between Hunter, who bounced back from his crap showing last weekend. I really think it was a setup deal is what was really bothering him there, but they pretty much have that figured out. I'm sure he went back to his moto setup and pretty much owned the deal with a 1-1. Unfortunately, Joe looked like he was going to be able to get the overall because the second moto breaks the tie, but he was looking down at his bike. And by no coincidence, okay, I'm thinking here, these bikes could have been overheating a little bit because of how fast the track was. You had Ty. I don't know if you guys watched Ty's bike, but it looked like it was smoking. Looked like something was going on with that motorcycle. And yeah, you had Tom y.all, who I thought was going to win, but he ended up having a little brake lever deal. I think this was really hard on the bikes. And talking about bikes and little malfunctions on stuff. The gate again. Is this the third or fourth gate malfunction of the year? Guys, why can't we go to an electric gate as opposed to this hydraulic air compression system? You know that is destroying clutches on the start there. And all back to the 450s. This just hit me. Sexton. Dude, he knows that he's having a hard time beating Jed if he doesn't start in front of Jed. And that second moto, the first mistake he did was start on the outside of him. If you're trying to beat somebody, and he won the first moto, so therefore you get second gate pick. Like, shouldn't you, maybe back to what I'm talking about here. Sexton, 2, 3, that's 5, and then Kenny. Yeah, okay, sorry. I'm doing math on here because, DJ, you made me think a little bit more about what my math is, because we know I'm not no mathematician about when it comes to the overall. No, but I really think that because of the pass, Kenny was able to get the second place there. But no, back to what I was original thought of Sexton. You have second gate pick. Why don't you start on the inside of your competitor? Because you're a much bigger dude. You can lean over on him and push him. But no, he decided to go one gate to the outside of him, so 2 gates to the outside of him. And he had a good jump, but then Jet was able to come up the inside of him and block him. It was really a bummer. That, to me, I kind of thought he lost the race just from there. And it was super, super unfortunate. Really, on the 450s, I can't really talk much about other guys. I think Webb is struggling with setup. He's been probably practicing a lot of Supercross or just taking the time off, because you need to have time off. That's why I think a lot of these guys don't want to do Motocross of Nations, is because they're switching teams. They need time to recuperate. If you watch or listen to any of Coach Rob's stuff, recovery is just as important as the effort that you're putting in. So these guys need a break, and that's not about Super Motocross. Well, it kind of is a little bit, because this extended series is going straight up to the Motocross of Nations. And the 250s, I really think Joe should go over there for Japan, because we know the dude is fast for motocross. And really, I think that's the only guy that could maybe compete with Deegan come Supercross. And I really like these Super Motocross races because it's an East versus West shootout every time. And, I've had the things in the past where I'm talking about, press day advantage and all this bullshit on stuff. With this, that's not how it is. If I go back to, I think, the schedule here, I got to go through 87 pages of the rule book here, but I'm going to try to find it live for you guys. If I'm able to do this quickly, man, can I skim? We all know I like to read a lot, but do I actually read, or do I just skim this stuff? I'm already on page 11. Well, that's not right, because I'm going the completely opposite direction. I think I was actually much closer to begin with. Here, maybe I should show you the screen so that it doesn't look like I'm just talking to freaking the air here. Here, we're skimming. I thought I saw it. Man, I really thought I saw it. Okay, there's that. Was it below that? Nope, that's the purse money. Gosh, dang it. It was right there. It was on the tip of my freaking fingers. I'm going to have another Costco. Oh, found it. There it is. Practice. They get practice. Qualifying 1 and 2. LCQ. Then the motos. There really is no press day advantage in this stuff. Like, this is definitely a good step forward for the freaking sport. I am pumped with this series. As much as the track was somewhat boring because there was not a whole lot of technicality to it, I do have some things that I will show you guys next week. So make sure that you subscribe and turn your notification icon, because I did catch some stuff that I know you guys are going to be interested in watching. But as far as a technicality Supercross, there was really no quads or anything. These guys were just WFO the entire time. And the next race is going to be more of that hybrid, more Supercrossy. And I do have to give it up to the track guys, and I'm sure the guys at the track, at least what I've heard, they were complaining about during my track analysis video. I was saying how fast that back section was going to be and how dangerous it was going to be for these guys to be doing 60 miles an hour headed towards the double. But what they ended up doing is they ended up putting a check jump in the middle, which was beautiful because we didn't see anybody get catastrophically injured. I mean, yeah, that's debatable with the super minis, with the 85s. That nobody got really super injured. At least I hope. I'm praying for Richards there. But the big bikes, it was beautifully well done. There was no walls. I'm pumped. I'm pumped about how the weekend went, and I just can't get over the fact that Jet pulled the entire chessboard out and was doing all these equations and doing the Einstein thing to let Ken by. Man, Jace and I talked about this on his podcast, that we are living in Jed Lawrence's universe is what we're living in. But guys, that is it. Make sure you freaking go watch the press conference now. And you know what? I've got some questions that I would like to ask that would be very respectful and has to do with the track out there. So I think a time coming soon, I'll be there. But anyway, hope you guys have a beautiful Sunday and you guys can ride the dirt bike.